Just give. You're not going to not have that money. That's the thing. You're not going to not have it. It's coming back. You just might not see it in cash. God doesn't need your money. He needs your heart to give. He doesn't need your money, but he needs you to have a heart to give. Go do something and give to somebody.
Kill Complacency, a podcast that inspires growth and intentionality and helps you overcome your greatest obstacles.
So today I have my buddy Scooter Howell on, and Scooter is from Louisiana. And I met him in Oklahoma in January at Savvy Investor Weekend. He was a speaker. And Scooter gave his presentation, and he said, these are the things I love. I love Jesus, I love RV camping, and I love running. And I thought, that's my kind of guy. So I went up to him afterwards, and we met, and here we are. So, Scooter, could you kind of tell us your story, your background? I don't know your whole story. I just know that you love Jesus, real estate, and running. So, tell me about that.
Yeah, that's I hesitate to start out with that, but just so everybody would either start listening or stop listening. That was kind of my plan, because everybody really only hears the first little bit, and then they either are going to tune in with you, or they're going to kind of mentally walk out of the room. So it's like, well, at least I'll get maybe some Jesus freaks in here, or some people that like running, or maybe they'll stay for that. But anyway, it was good. But I've been in real estate for, I hate to say it, but it's like 23 years. My banker that I did a deal with the other day, he had told me we've been doing deals for 23 years. I was like, wow, it can't have been that long. Really? So starting when I was 20, I bought my first house. 21, I had three. And then I really just kept buying after that. But nobody in my family's ever bought real estate. My dad was a truck driver. My mom taught dance. She had a dance school, a dance studio. Got to get them right. But it's not like we had anybody in real estate. My sister was a realtor for a few years, and before she died, actually got murdered doing real estate. So that was kind of weird. But anyway, that was kind of only. I used to trash out houses for this guy, and with my friend, and we went over to his house one day this was when we were like 15 years old. He would get us, my buddy's stepdad would get us to come and help him trash out his rent houses on the weekends, and we'd go ride with his maintenance guy, trash out the houses. So one day we trashed out a house, and then we had to take some of the stuff or whatever it was over to his house, and he had this 4-column mansion, full circle drive, huge, to me, it was a huge, mansion house. Now it's, it's kind of, just a house. But it was, back then I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So anyway, I was like, what do you do? How do you do this? And he's like, well, I own all these apartments and rent property, and it pays for this. I'm like, well, so pretty much from then on, I was like, if that guy can do it, then I can do it. So I basically just started.
Tell me your first house you bought. What was it?
Single family, 65,000. It was brick on slab. I paid market. Well, I paid more than market, because it would not, I only, probably 10 years later, did the market ever get to where that area would
Okay.
support a $60,000 house. You know, now I could probably sell it for, and this is 23 years later.
Yeah.
Now I could sell it for, um, 90,000. So
Mm.
it didn't really go up a whole lot. But anyway, yeah, I bought that, and then I bought me another house, which I paid
How did you
40 for.
how did you cash flow that first house?
I had roommates. I was
Okay.
scraping by. We did a what do you call it? Stated income loan. No
Mm.
money down, rural development, stated income. I didn't have a penny in it, which I worked at a bicycle shop.
Mm.
I, made like $8 an hour, big money back then. And I did, I cut down trees. I had a tree service. And so we do that on the weekends. But, I was scrappy, man. I was just like, well, how can I make this work? Well,
Hmm.
what do how much money do you need in my checking account to do it? Well, I'll go put it in there and get you a statement. Um, I am I am 2008. I am a
Yeah.
reason why they had a crash.
Hmm.
So but luckily I didn't crash out. I
Yeah.
stood through there. But
So you
yeah,
started
man.
buying and selling, and like at what has your volume been consistent the whole time?
So no, absolutely not. So I bought and I got another job. I started selling mobile homes at a dealership, and I went for about the first probably 10 years. I was just buying one or two houses a
Mm-hmm.
month. Um, I had, went to Homes Plus, started selling manufactured homes. I learned a whole lot. I was over construction at one point, so I was over putting the sewer system in, getting the water line set, getting the customers' houses set up. Taught me a whole lot on that guy's dime.
Mm-hmm.
I helped all the people with financing. I helped all the people with
Mm.
you know, getting all their stuff together. So it was really a huge educational help there. But and then I ended up quitting that, got another job, got me and my sister bought some gymnastics gyms. And that's really where I started working my real estate a little bit more.
Okay.
So I went from, three for probably, well, five for probably 5 years, and then got another five in the next 10. So in 10 years, I was about 10 properties. And then, you know, whenever I broke away from Homes Plus and started doing my gymnastics gym, I had a lot more time and I was mowing down deals.
Mm.
I was buying a few a month for about 3 years, and I ramped it up to about 200 properties for
Mm.
myself. Um, so, it was just buying packages of houses,
Yeah.
investors getting out and we go, buy all their stuff and make a deal, which you can get a lot better. I mean,
Yeah.
we were getting volume discounts. It was good, but yeah, so I ramped it up to about 200 properties, and then, uh, uh, I had a property management company. We started a property management company. My property manager at the time, was wanting more income, and I had people asking me about managing their property because that's it's
Mm-hmm.
pretty common. You look like you're doing it good, and people are like, hey, can you do mine too? Um, so we did that. We started managing around 400 units. Um, it was more than 400. It was probably closer to five, but so managed all that, and then um, I pretty much I got got in between all that, got married, had a baby. It's like, I don't want to work this hard, and
Mm.
then working for other people is
Mm-hmm.
really, it's hard for us entrepreneur people. Um, and so I was just, I had to cut out of that. Um, but sold off my me and my sister sold off she bought me out of the gym, out of our five gymnastics gyms, and we sold some. We I sold the property management company. My partner bought me out, and then I sold a bunch of units. I sold probably 75 units.
Mm,
Um, got down. I got our last employee that we had hired there, and she came with me. She's literally the best
mm,
out of everybody there. I mean, it was amazing. All these other people had all this experience in property management and
mm-hmm.
in bookkeeping, and um, you know, Mandy was literally a godsend, and I was like, I don't even know how I'm gonna pay. Like, I don't know what it's gonna look like. Do you want to just come?
Mm,
And thank goodness she did. And I mean, she literally runs my life now. Runs
mm.
all this side of our business. Um, I trust her with my
Yeah,
life, my kids, and it's got the best one out of the bunch. But um, anyway, so I got my life to be a lot easier since
sure.
then. So
Over the years, I have been coached by countless mentors, and now I want to offer that to you as well. How? By Marty Hofmann's Life Coaching. This will be a 6-week program in which I will guarantee you will develop a more growth mindset. We will set goals and learn about the importance of the processes and habits behind those goals. I will also help you see your story differently as things happening for you, not to you. We will also be discussing your future self and give you clarity on who that is and what it looks like. For more information, please follow the link below or hop on martyhoffman.com and follow the coaching link. If you don't mind, talk to me about your sister. You said she was murdered doing real estate. What happened?
she was showing. Now this was a long time ago. I guess it was probably, yeah, I was 18. I
Hmm.
wasn't even 18 yet, but um, yeah, you can look it up online, Dondi Copeland. She was showing property, and the guy, um, basically, she kind of showed it, and he took advantage of her, and
Hmm.
put her in the trunk of her car, and
Hmm.
um, she,
So everything you
you
read
know,
about, hear about, happened.
the worst possible case. Yes, it happened.
Wow.
And we're in Monroe, we're a small town, people know people. Um, but just it
Wow.
took the wrong guy's deal, and yeah, they got out into a rural area looking at a house, and
Hmm.
he stuck
And
her in
that
the back
was
of the car.
that was before you had much real estate.
Now, I mean, I was 17,
Yeah.
18. Yeah, I didn't have anything at all, you know.
But that was before. So your sister, you've done the gymnastics with
Yeah,
businesses. That's a
different
different
sister.
sister.
Yes,
Okay.
I've got five. They are
Five
hard to keep up
sisters.
with. Yeah, yeah.
How many brothers do you have?
Four. Well, no, I guess just two others. Yeah,
Okay.
I've got four kids. I'm getting it mixed up there. But
Yeah. I have, Scooter, I have 4 brothers and 5 sisters.
oh, nice.
So
Golly,
when you
I'll
said that,
pray
I
for
thought,
you.
oh man, we are a lot alike.
Yes, I knew we were. I know. That is funny.
I've got 6
Um,
kids though.
oh man, golly. Yeah, I saw him beating on a washer the other day. I was
Oh
like, look
yeah.
at this. That's literally
You need
something
to
I
do
need
that
to.
with your boys. One time they did it, they found like $3.
Oh, what? Look out.
Yeah, in the dryer, because it goes underneath in the vent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll send you a picture of my kid's shop. It was my shop, but he took it over, and it's literally got three um uh lawnmowers taken apart in there. He's putting a lift on one. He took the motor off one and put it on the other. I mean, and he's 12, and I'm like, dude,
That's
you
crazy.
you got I need some room in here. He's like, well, this one's, I'm fixing to put this one together. I'm like, there's nowhere close. But
I
yeah.
had my 14-year-old, someone left a goat cart at a house, a renter, and
Uh-huh.
he took it home and got it going.
Nice. Yeah. I love it.
So
I do like that. So, yeah, that my sister there was really the only real estate we ever had and
okay.
experience in the family. But and it was kind of touchy. I really didn't know I was getting into real estate. I just thought I was getting doing rental property. I didn't
Mm,
realize it until I got my license, my real estate agent license, that I was hitting so close to my mom's, touch
mm.
points there. Um, I didn't really even realize what it was. I was just buying houses and renting out and making a little bit of spread there.
You didn't even know what you were
Um,
doing. Yeah.
I had no idea. Which you know, being too dumb to know what questions you can't ask, it really, really helps.
Hmm.
Um, but what was cool whenever I did get my license, people would know me based off of that. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, I knew your sister.
Mm.
She was awesome." Um, but I mean, she wasn't real big into it, but her personality was. So
Was
it,
entrepreneur. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that was cool. But I mean, I never talked to her about real estate. She didn't
Sure.
talk to me about, um, of course, she wasn't living at home. I mean,
Yeah.
she was
Yeah. Yeah.
older. Yeah, so married. I mean, but yeah.
Scooter, I
So,
I know you're busy. How do you balance everything? Because I mean, last week I texted and you're buying a candle business. You've got rentals, property management, and I know you have a life outside of real estate and business. So, like, how do you balance? How do you play the game?
um, you know, the I think I don't know who said it, but if you don't ever go to work, it's never work. I mean, real
Mm,
estate's never been a whole lot of work for me, so there is no balance in me doing that because it's whenever I find that I don't enjoy doing something, like I don't enjoy mopping floors and trashing out houses,
hmm.
but I so I'll find somebody and they'll do that part. I hire somebody to do that. So I really do the things that I really enjoy doing. Go find deals, you know, get them rehabbed, get somebody to get them up and get them rehabbed. Um, we did 20 something. I think 18 or 24 flips last year to
Yeah.
sell. Uh, and the year before we did probably about that same amount. I don't have my numbers here, but we did, and I never touched the paint. You know,
Hmm.
like there, I don't like painting, so there's not, you know, it's not that it's not work for me. So I don't think it's a
Sure.
balance. I am relentless in going and getting deals. Like that has
Hmm.
been up until last week. My main job is going and getting deals and making sure that my people have what they need to get their job done, so their job's easier.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, it's balancing life has always been. We can always do that stuff on the phone. Um, we our real estate is mobile. We
Sure.
I'm doing this podcast on my phone. I mean, you can do
Hmm.
everything from wherever you're at. I did
Sure.
decide to come to my office because it has a super cool banner. Uh,
Ah. Good
uh,
advertisement.
yeah, yeah. In case anybody watches your podcast and needs to know about short term needs has some money they want to get out for short term apartment investing, then there's my number.
For
I
sure.
was actually supposed to have this for my talk with y'all. That banner
Oh,
cost like $5. I showed a slide of it on Amazon, but it was
yeah.
supposed to be there. And I was like, people just don't, the point was people just don't do anything. They won't take
Hmm.
action. And so um, I, you know, I had that made to kind of make a point, but it's found a good spot other than in my truck.
That's good.
But man, let me tell you about this. So you'd said our we bought a last week. We had like just closed on this candle business.
Yeah.
Uh, they like it happened in about a week's time. Went in, saw the business, gave them a deposit, saw the rest of the business.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, and then we're off to the races. You know, it's been
Is
100
there a
miles an
lot to
hour.
that business?
Well, you told me before you got a kid that makes candles.
Well, my boys, yeah. So they found, I mean, it's fun for them. It's a craft. And
Yeah.
and we try really hard at our house to do real life. So
Uh-huh.
meaning not video games and whatnot. So
Right.
if you want to make candles, we're going to make candles. So maybe we're cleaning out a rental and they left all their candles,
Uh-huh.
or maybe, I mean, they've had people donate them candles. So they like to take them and melt them down. And my wife has a designated pot for them now.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And then they use like cupcake holders. That's what they use a lot
Yeah.
of different things, but cupcake holders, and they'll pour it in there, put the wick in, and make hundreds. I've made hundreds of candles. And then they found
Nice.
out to get color, what they're doing is they're melting down crayons.
Oh
So
yeah, that's good. That's
yeah.
awesome.
So I'm sure yours is
So
way more
yeah,
sophisticated, but my boys just make a big mess, and it's all about
they
the
have
creating
fun.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you could like buy them a stove and stick it outside and just have it could run on 110 because they're only using the top, the burners.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Uh, and that's what we use in the
Really?
manufacturing is there's yeah, I think there's 15, maybe 15 or 13 or 15 stoves. I can't remember. I think we
Okay.
have some holes where they used to be, but yeah, they use stoves.
And you just heat up
Um,
the wax, and then you guys put it in the molds.
a very specific wax.
Mm.
Um, I'll have to share with you some stuff, but yeah, we just got in 2 pallets, which is 4,400 pounds worth of wax in today.
Mm.
Um, and that is a very specific wax. It's just to go in um, the wax melts, the ones that you
Mm-hmm.
break and you stick little cubes in your stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not. It is a lot to it. It's a lot more than what I thought because
Mm.
it is every jar has a specific wick, how long it burns.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, a different wax, a different scent, a different color, um, a different label's got to go on the bottom. I mean, like it's a whole lot more than what I thought.
Mm.
Um, but
Talk to me
we're
about why
getting it
you bought
figured
it.
out.
Was it just buying a business, or what was attractive about this?
Uh, well, not the work, but you know, it looks to me, it looked like kind of like a rental property that I could put this much time in, and eventually it would be
Mm.
it would be a business that would run without a lot of our input. It already had, it's got 8 employees. Um, it's it's already set up, so we're hoping that after we get the ball rolling, it won't take us that long to get
Sure.
everything kind of set up. But we're in 131 Walmarts. We're in Albertsons. We're in Um, you know, I'm trying to think we're in a couple other grocery stores and then a couple of
Hmm.
boutique type stores too. So, we're in a little bit, that alone helps with us having, you know, being able to push it out there.
So it's really kind of the same business model as a rent house, meaning you have a business that you bought that is creating income, and that income is paying. I'm assuming, did you get a business loan?
We got,
Or
um,
owner
yes, we
finance
got a
or yeah.
owner. Well, it's not owner finance, but we have, I guess a hard money lender, not hard
Yeah.
money, but we have a private lending, private money.
But
Yeah,
essentially the business is going to make the money to pay him back.
right.
And as long as you are a good manager of it, like you would a landlord, then it'll be good.
That's right. It's yes, and we're starting out with, no debt. They had
Mm-hmm.
debt. They were having to pay on. They had a lot of employees that weren't doing anything that
Mm.
they were having to pay. There's a lot of upside to it and a lot of potential to grow,
Sure.
but they had been doing it for 40 years.
Mm.
They were not going to go make a sales call. They were not going to go, and ship somebody a candle because it busted. They're like, well, sorry, they were just
Yeah.
tired. I mean, they
Yeah.
were ready to be done. So
It's a
there's
lot of upside for you.
serious upside. Yeah, we've got some hustle and we're ready to go.
Mm.
We can make it. We see the vision. I mean, my wife's got. She was in there. One of those pictures I sent you. My
Was that
kid on
her?
the table.
Yeah. That was
Yeah,
her.
yeah,
I zoomed in.
yeah.
Yeah.
My daughter, my 4-year-old, 5-year-old, sitting on the table, and my other daughter, Layla, behind her. You know, making candles.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty neat.
It's fun. I mean, it's yeah, my boys love it, you know.
Yeah.
And they've used
I
these
haven't.
little like molds where they do dinosaurs or whatever. I don't know what they are. But like Jello molds, they'll put them in there.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah. What's it? y- Well, I have to send you some stuff, some specific wax that's like I'm getting educated on this, and it's very specific. Like,
Mm.
you got to know how much it melts and what temperature it melts and how far the flame goes out. And I mean,
Okay.
it's a whole lot, yeah. But
Yeah,
it
no,
could
my
help
boys
the
are just taking old wax, melting it down,
yeah.
dumping it in, and calling it good.
Well, let me tell you, the little candles, they're called the votive candles.
Mm-hmm.
If they get some of those would be the best wax for that because they have a
Mm.
higher burn uh, temperature.
Okay.
So they're harder wax. Isn't that crazy? Look at
Mm.
that. But I've not poured any wax in a jar. I have split some wax, and I've kind of put some hands on it, but I'm really on the um
Manager
on
side.
yes, and there's a production manager already, and she kind of does most of that part of it. But my wife coming in there, she wants to give it some new life, so we're trying out some stuff
Mm.
and we're trying it out fast. We're like, no, we're gonna go ahead and pour these. And they're like, well, we got to do this process and this process. And we're like, yeah, but give me some
No.
wax and put it in these. She's like, I know, but we're gonna try these for next week. They're thinking, well, we have a super long R&D process. I'm like, yeah, I get it, but we're going to do that on super drive. How long does it
Mm-hmm.
take to burn this candle so we'll know? Oh, it's this long. Like, okay, well, that's less than 2 days. Let's get them built so we can get to burning.
Yeah.
Um, but man, it's going to be fun. We're excited for it. But
Scooter, if
still our meat and potatoes is flipping houses
Mhm.
and rental property. So
if you want to wear a billboard of a message of kill complacency or live intentionally, then check out my merch store. It's www.mindsetshop.com. Mindset is with an X, so it's MINDXET shop, SHOP.com. Mindsetshop.com. So, Scooter, that's my question. If you had to start over, what would you do different?
I would buy more houses earlier.
Mm.
You know, I would have learned, you know, everything's getting more expensive. You can't buy houses as cheap as you could have, you know, 10 years ago. I would have wished I'd bought more houses whenever I could. Because even if you sold them now, you'd still be way ahead. I
Where
just,
do you foresee the market going? Because don't you think
um,
that in 2030 we're going to look back and say, "Oh, I should have bought in 2025"? Because that's what I think.
that's exactly right. That's that's the same, you know, I should have bought more whenever I was 21 instead
Yeah.
of waiting 10 years. Because the houses that I have that I bought back then, I mean, they're just about paid off. And I paid
Mm-hmm.
a whole lot less for them back then. Um, yeah, I wish I'd have gotten in sooner, you know, gotten in. I mean, I got in pretty soon, but I wish I wouldn't have been so scared to break off to buy another 10 units. But, you know, I didn't get around people that were buying a bunch of houses until I went to Mr. Landlord Convention. You into that?
Mm. Uh-uh.
Uh-uh. It's
That's good.
it's good. Mr. Landlord Convention. They have one in June, I think, or in May or June. But you know, I sat next to this at the bar talking to this guy, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we got." You know, he's sitting there in cargo shorts and backwards hat, and I was like, I mean, you know, cut off sleeves. I'm like, if this dude's got 300 units, I'm sitting here with like, you know, 10, thinking I had done something. Um, and this guy's, you know, got 300. I'm like, if he can do it, I can do it. So after talking to him, I mean, he's just like me. He's just
Mm-hmm.
trying to do something. And so that kind of sparked it up. But Mr. Landlord is a good convention to go to. Um, it's salesy. They're trying to sell your books, but it's cheap to get there, and you can go sit there. If I hadn't had that conversation with that guy at the bar, then I wouldn't be where I am today.
Yeah, and don't you think that I mean, networking, being
Yeah,
around bigger fish is so important to our personal development because otherwise you're the best and
right.
you become complacent, right? Because you're the best. But
Yeah.
when you put yourself in other rooms, suddenly you, you can't you can't be complacent because you realize what a small little fish you are, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's why coming to those things is so important. You know, coming and hanging out at, you know, Steven's event, Mr. Land,
Mm-hmm.
the investor weekend
Yeah.
is so important. Getting to hang out, you know, you telling me about your running, I'm like, man, I really need to get back running and you know, I need to start training some more. You know, I've not gotten complacent because my, you know, I kind of lost a running partner and he doesn't run anymore. He got
Mm.
injured, and you know, it's you know, I hadn't been to the gym in a long time.
Mm.
You know, because got kind of complete. It's kind of nice to sleep in.
It is.
Mm. I
Talk
actually
to me.
missed my Bible study this morning because I slept in. I have Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I go run, and Sunday, I do a long run. And on Tuesday, I have a Bible study I go to. And like just last night, I mean, I was just tired. I stayed asleep. It's terrible. That 5 a.m. is tough, man.
Yeah, especially after daylight saving time.
Yes, yes, that didn't help any.
wanted to thank you guys for listening to the end. In closing, I just wanted to add that if this message resonates with you, if it aligns with your values, and something in it today triggered something, then you can also look me up on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. We are really trying to help people live more intentional lives to kill the complacency with which they have subscribed to. I know there's many ways which I get sucked in all the time. So if this is beneficial, follow me there.